What if I told you that one of the most critical skills for a killer career in hospitality is, well, it's basically being able to predict the future? In a way, that's exactly what AI demand forecasting lets us do. As a hotel AI expert, I'm really excited to break down this game-changing technology with you today. So, hello and welcome. This session is designed for hospitality students and professionals just like you, people who want to be ahead of the game. We're going to cover practical knowledge that you can use directly in real-world hotel operations, which is going to give you a serious edge in this incredibly dynamic industry. Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we'll talk about the very core of hospitality and why forecasting is so foundational. Then we'll look at the limits of the old school methods before we dive into the new AI-powered paradigm. We'll get practical and look at today's AI tools, and then we'll wrap up with the most important part, your future and your role in a world where humans and AI work together. Right, let's start with the fundamentals. Because to truly understand the power of AI in our industry, you first have to get why demand forecasting is so critical to a hotel's success in the first place. At its heart, this is what it's all about. Demand forecasting is the art and science of predicting future room sales. And it's not just how many rooms, but crucially, at what price and through which booking channels. This process is basically the engine that drives almost every single commercial decision a hotel makes. And this quote, well, it says it all, doesn't it? It really illustrates the stakes. Hotels operate with an inventory that is highly perishable. This is a constant reminder in our industry. Once that clock ticks past midnight, the revenue opportunity from an empty room is just gone, forever. That's why getting your predictions right isn't just helpful, it is absolutely essential. Okay, let's move on and see how things used to be done. To really appreciate the revolution, you have to understand the limits of tradition. So just imagine a time before AI. Hoteliers were kind of like fortune tellers. They relied on a mix of gut feelings from an experienced manager, some very basic historical data, and just endless spreadsheets. It was a slow, manual, and let's be honest, often a wildly inaccurate process. And here's the crucial point. While those old approaches offered some guidance, they were fragile. They were slow to adapt and just couldn't possibly account for the complex web of things we face today, like flight cancellations, competitor flash sales, or a sudden citywide event. The system just couldn't keep up. And that brings us to the AI-powered paradigm. And listen, this isn't just an upgrade. It's a fundamental transformation in how we approach forecasting in hospitality. Now just look at the difference here. It really shows the leap forward we've made. Where traditional methods use these rigid formulas based on last year's data, AI uses dynamic machine learning algorithms to analyze massive live data sets. Instead of being slow, AI is continuously learning and refining its predictions, literally in real time. It moves us from depending on one person's gut feel to a system that can see hidden patterns no human ever could. It's a whole new ballgame. So how does it actually learn? Well, think of it as a continuous loop. The system is constantly ingesting huge amounts of data, not just your hotel's bookings, but market trends, competitor pricing, flight schedules, even weather forecasts. Then its algorithms get to work identifying patterns, and based on those patterns, it refines its predictions and generates different possible scenarios for the future. And this leads to one of AI's most powerful abilities, probabilistic forecasting. So instead of giving you just one single rigid number to bet the farm on, AI systems generate a range of likely outcomes, a best case, an expected, and a worst case scenario. This completely shifts your strategy from being reactive to whatever happens to being proactively prepared for whatever the future might hold. It's a massive strategic advantage. So that's the theory. How does this all actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at some of the cutting-edge AI tools that are transforming the hospitality industry as we speak. You are going to see platforms like these everywhere. Ideas, for instance, is like a surgeon with a scalpel. It uses advanced analytics for incredibly precise pricing decisions. Then you've got Duetto, which champions something called open pricing. It just means you're no longer stuck with those rigid seasonal price lists. Instead, your rates can be dynamic, changing in real time based on actual demand. And pace revenue? It's like your personal performance coach, constantly monitoring your booking pace, that's the speed rooms are selling for a future date, and flagging you if you need to adjust your strategy. So the bottom line is this. Getting a handle on these tools is no longer a nice-to-have skill. It's an absolute must-have for any aspiring hospitality leader. This isn't abstract theory. This is the tech that's defining the future of our industry right now. And this brings us to our final and, honestly, most important section, the future. This is all about the powerful partnership between humans and AI, and more specifically about your role as a future leader. I want to be absolutely crystal clear about this. This technology is incredibly powerful, but AI is not here to replace you. It's here to empower you. In fact, it makes your strategic insight and your expertise more valuable than ever before. Think of it as the new partnership. The AI provides the heavy-duty analytical foundation. It tells you the what. But it's you, the human expert, who provides the judgment, the context, and the strategic alignment. You provide the so what. A forecast is just data until it's interpreted with local knowledge and your hotel's unique brand strategy. That is a role only a human can fill. So, as you continue on your journey, I want to leave you with this question. How will you harness the power of AI and blend it with your own unique human insights to become a leader in this exciting new era? The future of hospitality is in your hands. Now go lead the change.